Look up into a clear night sky with your naked eye, and what planets could you see? Technically, you would be able to see all of them at one time or another, all of them apart from Neptune. It is the smallest of the gas giants, and also the furthest away, and it is a perplexing place. You would think a planet so far from the Sun wouldn't have a dynamic atmosphere that exhibits ginormous storms and super fast winds. So why is this planet as interesting as it is? I'm Alex McColgan and you're watching Astrum, and today we're going to delve into everything you could want to know about Neptune. Let's start right at the beginning. Neptune is the only planet found through mathematical prediction. You see, when Uranus was discovered and astronomers were plotting its orbit, they noticed that Uranus wasn't following their models. From the perturbed orbit of Uranus, Urbain Le Verrier in 1846 concluded that there must be another undiscovered planet, and he predicted where it should be, and remarkably, Johann Galle was able to find it only a degree away from the predicted point. Triton, Neptune's biggest moon, was discovered a few days later. But since then, Neptune was little understood, as its distance from Earth and very small apparent size meant it couldn't be studied from ground-based telescopes very easily. It wasn't until 1989, when Voyager 2 arrived, that a huge amount of information about the planet has become available. Suddenly, we could see what the planet looked like. Confirmed it had planetary rings. Distance. Because this long, it's a huge 165 years to orbit the Sun once, which means we've only seen one Neptunian year since its discovery. This distance from the Sun means the average temperature on Neptune is 900 times dimmer on Neptune than on Earth. From that distance, it wouldn't make much of an impact. But even if it is only a small impact, it does make an impact nonetheless, and the brightening of the southern hemisphere is thought to be due to the southern hemisphere warming up by about 10 degrees centigrade compared to the rest of the planet. This comparably higher temperature has released frozen methane gas into the stratosphere, whereas elsewhere on the planet it remains frozen and stays deeper in the troposphere. Just to recap of the spheres of a planet, the troposphere is the lowest atmospheric level, followed by the stratosphere. Above those layers are the mesosphere, the thermosphere, and then the exosphere. But that's a very interesting topic in itself, and we'll save it for another video. If you look at the weather on Neptune, it actually has the fastest wind speed of any planet, with wind speeds blowing westward on the equator reaching a staggering 2,160 kilometers per hour, nearly a supersonic flow. And interestingly, most wind travels retrograde to the rotation of the planet. Bands are also formed on the planet, as well as colossal storms. When Voyager 2 passed the planet by in 1989, it saw a spot, a storm about the size of a dark spot, a storm about the size to explain the extremes in weather. I mentioned that Neptune is the furthest planet from the Sun. You would have thought it's also Uranus is the coldest planet in our solar system. Neptune radiates heat from within, radiates hardly any excess heat at all. This could be because a large compared to Uranus's cyan. Again, like Uranus, there's a liquid mantle of water, ammonia, and methane ices surrounding the core. And where the core and the mantle meet, the pressure is so great that the methane may break apart and diamonds are formed. Likely not diamonds as you or I know, but there could be a liquid carbon similarities. Neptune's magnetic field is offset 47 degrees relative to its rotational axis. In relation to its rotational axis. Every planet in the solar system, 1,000 kilometers across. On the edge of 1,000 kilometers across. On the edge of this ring is the Arago ring. It's slightly brighter than the Lassell ring and is less than 100 kilometers wide. Lastly is the outermost and the most researched ring, the Adams ring. It's only 35 kilometers wide, but it's one of the brightest rings. It is particularly interesting as it is slightly inclined and has bright arcs in it. These arcs have been quite stable since they were first observed in 1980, but usually